Negligence is failure for someone to comply with a standard of care. For example, the simplest way we could describe it is when we're out in the road driving, vehicles are required to keep a safe stopping distance when they're on the roads. If someone runs into the back of you, they fail to adhere to the standard of keeping a proper lookout and distance from the vehicle in front of them. When someone plows into the truck, we recently had a case where a tractor trailer ran into the back of our client's vehicle, caused the vehicle to explode into flames. Luckily, it didn't explode immediately, about 15 seconds. Our client was knocked unconscious. There was a Good Samaritan who dragged our client out of the vehicle and saved his life. Our client happened to be a steel worker and is working on the new power plant that's being built in the western part of Palm Beach County. Client was a big, strong worker and had a fiance that he was going to meet in Arizona later that day. Paramedics checked him out. He got on the plane that evening, went to visit his fiancée in Arizona. The next day or 2 days after, I was getting a call from her. She happens to be a CPA, and she called me and said, you heard about that accident with that tractor trailer? I said, I sure did. Saw it on the news. They had the video of the vehicle, his pickup truck going in flames, and he says, well, that's my fiance, and he's not doing too well. He's forgetting things and not doing well, and he's coming back to Palm Beach County in a couple of days, and I'd like for him to see you. I said, well, why don't you should please have him go check out with the doctor right now. It's not a good sign that he's forgetting things. Many times, men or women, a lot of times I see it with men, they want to be stoic and avoid going to the doctor. And of course, he didn't listen to his fiancée and did not go to the doctor. In a few days, he returned to Palm Beach County, didn't come to see me right away. Got a call from his girlfriend, his fiancée again in a week. She said, he's still not doing well. He's talking to me on the phone and he's not sounding right. Would you please see him? I said, of course I'd be happy to see him. He finally came in to see me, and he was very concerned. The steel worker was working in high elevations and was having dizziness, having forgetfulness, and he finally went to see a doctor. Unfortunately, he did suffer a closed head injury at the scene of the accident where the truck ran into the back of his vehicle. He happened to have suffered what we call a mild traumatic brain injury. Mild traumatic brain injury, might sound nice. It's sort of like death taxes. An injury to a brain is anything but mild. I guess there's different degrees, so they must be classified. But if you have a traumatic brain injury, be it mild or severe, it's a very traumatic event if it happens to you. This story could go on for a long time. Of course, the insurance companies fought the case tremendously. They tried to deny insurance on the tractor and the trailer, which we were able to find insurance on both the rig and the trailer, and we were able to hold them responsible for his injuries. The injured party was able to go back to work in a modified job duties. Unfortunately, it was not safe for him to work on high elevations as a steel worker, and it changed his ability to earn money for a long time into the future. He had a lot of difficulty coming to grips with that. So negligence is the failure to adhere to a standard of care. And for example, a teacher should be able to supervise her students and make sure that anyone who comes into the classroom is not molesting them. We had the child molestation case where a teacher permitted a volunteer to come into the classroom and sexually assault children that were under her care and supervision within the classroom. that is negligent, and in many instances people would think it's beyond negligence. It was criminal. The volunteer was arrested and convicted and sent to jail. He's doing a long stretch in jail, in prison in Florida. The volunteer's actions were criminal. The lawsuit on the civil side was against the school for failure to adhere to a standard of care. In this case, the teacher happened not to have had a Florida teaching certificate. Additionally, we felt it was negligent for any teacher not to be present in the classroom and to supervise what's happening to her young charges. So negligence is, under the circumstances, what would a reasonable and prudent person do under like circumstances. Negligence happens in many, many instances. For example, in a premises case, we had an interesting case where there was a leaking water from a roof in a haircuttery. The leak was going on for months and months and months, and the store would usually put out the buckets and signs, of warning people of slippery floor. And this day, they didn't put out the signs. They've had the leak going on for months. Unfortunately, our injured party, who happened to be married to an insurance adjuster, was injured severely when she fell at the haircut place. She ended up having a major surgery in Boston, Massachusetts, a major spine surgery, fusing 3 cervical discs. And suffice it to say, again, the insurance companies fought us like crazy, denying and delaying and defending the case, and we were able to get a measure of justice for our client. We also have cases, very serious cases, where people are drinking and driving or texting and driving. We believe those cases are not just mere negligence cases where people fail to act under a reasonable and prudent standard. In those cases, punitive damage cases are required. If people make a decision to drink and drive, that goes beyond a simple negligence standard. That goes into the standard of an intentional act, and there are a different level of damages for punitive damages cases. We have a lot of experience on prosecuting civilly drunk drivers. We have too many stories, and it's too close to home to many of the people in this law firm, where people have been severely injured by drunk drivers. So on the civil side of cases, we go after negligent drivers, and we go after intentional acts such as DUI and texting while driving. Both of those cases rise to a different level, a different violation of the standard of care for intentional acts where there are punitive damages involved. And if you have any questions as to any legal matter, please call me at the phone number on this website.